HBCU OverDrive is proudly sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.org. At WeWorkForEverything.org, this is for those who are trying to build for a dream. With their latest hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and accessories and more, you can have it all here at a reasonable price. Black owned and operated out of the great state of New York. Like I said, get suited and booted. Check it out at WeWorkForEverything.org. Peace. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Doc, and it's my co-host. I think she's driving, but get this out the way. But glad that y'all made it in on this Saturday evening. It is a little bit after 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I think it's 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we are back at it. Off our little hiatus from last Saturday. And hopefully everybody's having a good time. Everybody had a good weekend. I know everybody watched some football. We're going to talk about that. Got some news coming out. From HBCU Go. Got some news coming out from Albany State. And we're just gonna go right along with the show. But I think my co-host, like I said, she's driving, so let everybody know if you're driving or not.
I'm almost home, but yeah, I am driving.
Okay. Let's see.
Where's
Chuck said
everybody
it's 100.
checking in from in the chat? Where's everybody checking in from?
Oh, tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're from and what school you claim. Chuck Hunt said it is 104
Who you
degrees in
claim?
Monroe.
104 degrees.
Yeah,
As in at nighttime, 104 degrees.
at nighttime.
Oh.
It's still like 105 outside here.
Mm.
So it we
I don't
you
know
know
how those boys are practicing. How are they practicing on those fields? They must practice like early morning, or they must get in some night practices in. That's too hot.
are you talking about like high school or both?
I mean, both.
So high school, I know here in the state of Texas, high school you can't you practice or they practice early in the morning. Once the temperature hits like on the field, like once it starts, I think once it hits like 95 to close to 100, then you take it off the field and you have to move it indoors. That's why a lot of schools, especially high schools, they have here in Texas, they got a lot of indoor practice facilities. I know my stepson, his school, they have an indoor practice facility, but it's really meant for everybody. But they got an indoor practice facility, and basically that's how they keep it going. But back then,
Back then, it probably wasn't 105. I don't know what's up with this
oh
heat.
no. Back then,
Nope.
here
And
it
then
get
that
about
turf.
102.
And they have
Yeah.
the turf field with the turf fields. From what I understand, it's hotter to the point where it's melting the shoes off of these young men. Like that's how hot it is on the turf.
So on the turf, so like back then, everybody used to play on grass. So grass was the thing. They practiced on grass. But once they moved to turf, yeah, you can say it. You can say that shoes get melted and stuff like that. Now, if it was that old school AstroTurf, it's like putting a carpet on top of a concrete slab with about this much cushion in it. It was one of those. It was one of those things where shoot, you like that tear your feet up, that tear your knees up, like your whole body part. Everything is torn up off of you.
Well, I know. I wonder how they're going to. I know last year it was a really big thing with Jackson State versus Grambling. It was really big with the heat exhaustion and getting overheated, not just for the football players, but also for the band. So I'm wondering how they plan on mitigating that. I know there's a lot of evening games for Jackson State, but for the rest of the games that are in the SWAC, what do they plan on doing to mitigate those high
Well,
winds?
when it comes down to it's always going to be a precautionary tale as far as yourself. So you as the individual had to be take precautions. So basically, that's why we say drink your water before you the night before, so you could be hydrated. Then also make sure you drink water throughout the day. Um, drink your 70%. Drink up your 70% of your body weight. And
They need Gatorade, electrolytes.
yeah,
I think
so
I saw
so yeah,
at Jackson State they was having watermelon, which is good for hydration.
watermelon is good for hydration. Pickle juice is good to keep your body from cramping
Cramps.
up.
Right.
Electrolytes is the best thing. So like if you get a thing of Pedialyte, I got a big ass bottle of Pedialyte in my bag, and I keep that with me. Like when I get on the bus to go to work, I keep that with me so I can keep myself hydrated. Um, but all in all, man, is once the temperature gets up to shoot, I'd say once the temperature starts getting up to like 102, 103, because the heat index is the thing that gets it. The heat in, the heat index is what's the issue. So once the heat index get up to like 105, 110, then that's when you gotta call it a day. But we'll get into all that. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into my spiel. So I put on slides. I got my slides. So let me take this banner off right here. As always, I'm gonna go ahead and blow this up full screen layout for everybody. Make sure that you become a subscriber, and if you want to follow both myself and Timona, follow both of us on Twitter and Instagram. Myself at HBCU underscore OverDrive, and make sure that you follow Timona as She Loves D. Pretty much the same thing on Instagram and on Twitter. So basically, make sure y'all follow us on those platforms right there. Become a subscriber. The more people that we got watching this right here, the more people we want to subscribe to become a part of our family right here. And this is our family. This is our joint family right here on Saturday nights. We got our own thing that happens throughout the week, but on Saturday night, this is how we get down over here everybody. If this is your first time being here, all right, we'll get to it. We'll get to all the noise talking, so it shouldn't be no problem. Anyway, make sure you become a subscriber. Also, if you want to become an exclusive member of the channel, make sure that you hit the join button. We have 2 tiers for you to join our exclusive member channel. Basically, it would be the blue, which is our upper tier, and purple, which is our original tier that we came up with. $6.99 for the upper tier, $4.99 for the lower tier. Basically, what you see is we'll get your exclusive members only videos, your early access to the videos, your member shout outs. That I'll do that all the time. Doesn't matter if you donate or if you become an actual member, you'll always get shouted out on the channel and member only live chat. So make sure if you want to get all of that, just hit that join button and we can get it all rolling. So my initiative, so I kind of got this from Ken and over at KC 1400, but I want to go ahead and get at least 50 people either on the blue or on purple by September the 15th. I have right now, it's 22 exclusive members. I want to get to either get 50 between either with blue or purple by September the 15th. So anytime you do the exclusive membership process, basically all funds that you have that you put into the channel, it does go back to the channel, and then it does go towards initiatives that we have for the channel. Pretty much that's what we got going on. That pretty much lay that out there right now. Also, me and the missus, me and the wife, we came up with this initiative. Make sure join us as we tackle child speech impediment. I am a living testament. I do kind of, I don't say I suffer from it, but I am a living testament. Just make sure you can donate. All the proceeds will help sponsor a child that's in need. So this lets everybody know I'm being genuine, being real about it. It does happen. We're still at a little bit over $400. Let's see if we can raise to like 700-800 tonight. Our goal is 2,000. Let's see if we can get at least $700 or $800 tonight. Tell a friend, tell their friend to tell a friend that this is all love. Also, make sure that if you want to, all the donations, any donations that you send to the channel, it will be through Cash App, unless you like my dear friend Brian in Canada, he hits me up with the PayPal. But make sure if you do, most of the time, Cash App is the way to do it. Send it to HBCU OverDrive, and there you go. And last but not least, anybody that got a birthday this month, from everybody here at HBCU OverDrive and She Loves D, we want to wish everybody a happy birthday. I actually want to, first of all, I want to wish my wife's aunt, my auntie Linda, who lives in California right now. I want to give her a huge happy birthday. She turned 49 today. So happy birthday, Auntie Linda. This is coming from me to you, and wish you many more. All right. But anybody that has a birthday coming up in August, let me know. Hit me up on the email. Let me get this out the way. hit me up on the email. That way we can get you on here. I can shout you out for your birthday for August, and then we'll get it going for September. So this is what we got going. This is how we're gonna be doing it. This is how I'm gonna be rolling out everything, all the announcements as far as for the show, for the channel. Want to make sure everybody understand that this is how we're gonna get down now. I'm gonna see. I don't know what my co-host is, but figure she'll check back in. She'll check back in. But I said Mr. Ford would be up in here today because I didn't get a chance to chop it up with Mr. Ford last time he was here. So last time I was on here, which was last Thursday. So I want to say if Mr. Ford would be on here tonight. So let me see. I think she might have hit a dead spot, but I'm gonna go ahead and send her that link back to right now. Oh my goodness. But other than that, I'm gonna let y'all know it's tax-free weekend here in Dallas, in the state of Texas. Haven't had too many problems with tax-free weekend. Not too much problem as far as with people coming in getting clothes for their kids. And the best thing about me is I don't have to worry about dealing with shoes. So that was my thing right there. So I used to deal with the shoes. So other than that, it been going by smooth. So I can't fuss and I can't argue about it. It's been going by smooth. Hey, oh yeah, you did, Chuck. You did fill in for Mr. Ford about the history and everything. So we got to, we're gonna do some more talking about that today. But first and foremost, y'all. First and foremost, the NFL is back. The NFL is back. It is preseason. I just finished watching the Cowboys. We did not take the dub, but there was some optimistic things that I liked about what we have on the team. And then there are some things that I wish that we could just throw away and burn it, you know. Um I know you about to come in. This is the only time I'm gonna tell you like this, EA. This is the only time that I will love a rattler. This is the only time that I would love a rattler because they play for my team. But I want to get into that. I'm gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that, man. Thank you for letting me lead off to that. But before we do that, I want to bring this up right here. The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT of Dallas is about to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. The man that got a street named after him is going into the Hall of Fame. The man that has the only statue of him doing his one-legged fadeaway is going into the Hall of Fame. So shout out to the dog, to the big dog, Dirk Nowitzki. I remember when he got drafted by the Mavericks. I was going into my sophomore year at Jackson State when he got drafted into the NBA by the Mavericks. So 21 years, one team, over 30,000 points, MVP of the league, Finals MVP, NBA champion. Dirk Nowitzki is going into the Hall of Fame and is well deserving of it. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to the NFL, y'all. Let's get back to the NFL. So, like I said, there's some things that I liked about that I did like about what I saw from the Cowboys. Um, I like the fact that even though it sucked because they put him in the game in like the fourth quarter, Isaiah Land, Isaiah Land did did some work out there. Isaiah Land did some work out there, and when I'm talking about work was, I think on one drive, Isaiah made the offensive tackle. The offensive tackle got called holding three times on the same offensive drive. This is in the fourth quarter, and Isaiah was on the right side. Well, if you're looking at on the from the offensive standpoint, he was on the left side. If you're looking from the behind on the defensive standpoint, right side. But they had him on the defensive line. He wasn't really playing linebacker, but he was playing on the defensive line. Um, it looks like he got stronger. The only thing that I seen that he needs to work on, he needs to start shedding his blocks a little bit more. He starts shedding a block. What up, Zoe? Hey Zoe, we gonna talk about some all-time Jackson State football quarterbacks. I don't know if you caught that, but I want to get your expertise on this because you know more history about the QBs from 40 years ago, 40, 50 years ago. So I need you to come on up here in a little bit. But yeah, Isaiah Land, look, he just needs to shed his blocks off the line. He did get stronger. Um, he did get stronger. Looked like he got faster, but I like what I saw. I like what I saw from Marquise Bell, which is his second year on his defense. So he kind of knows a little bit more about the defensive scheme for Dan Quinn.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, y'all.
So I'm talking about Isaiah Land for the Cowboys and Marquise Bell. So I gave my little spiel about what I saw from Isaiah. He's strong. He got stronger. He got stronger. He just needs to shed his blocks. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, because he played on the defensive line tonight,
Off the edge.
off the edge, and which that he's quick off the line instead of being standing up. Like I would, he had his hand in the dirt, which is cool. But if it's me, I had to stand up coming off the edge. I'm just saying. That's just me. That's just me. But like I said, he just needs to kind of move around, move his hands around, make more use of his hands. And that's what I'm getting. Marquise Bell, I feel like he's getting more comfortable in the defensive scheme for Dan Quinn and the Cowboys. And like I told EA, this is the only time that I would love a FAMU Rattler because they're playing for my Cowboys.
Well, did you talk about Emmanuel yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're gonna get on that one. So let's get on because we didn't I know it Thursday. Isaiah Bolden for New England. I know he was lined in certain instances. He was lined up against Tank Dell, who did play at Alabama A&M, but he transferred out, went to University of Houston, and basically, well, Tank Dell balled out. He had 5 catches, 65 yards, 1 touchdown, and the 1 touchdown was against Zay, but it was more like a tip pass to himself. I mean, it was a lucky pass, and I give him that. But Zay held his own. His his niche is going to come from being on special teams. That is going to be his bread and butter, being on special teams. So
He had a return for 26 yards, right?
he had a return for 26 yards.
If he would have shed that one last tackle, it would have been for a touchdown.
It could have been for a touchdown, but I think it would have been, he probably would have got 40, 50 yards off that one return. But I mean, like I said, he did his job. He did his job. He only allowed the 1 touchdown against, he was lined up against Tank. So, which, like I said, that was a good matchup right there from the jump. Hey, Blue said, "Hey, Blue, I seen it. I did not know he was. I did not know he was built like that. I did not know he was built like that, man. But but it was a good debut for Isaiah Bolden. I don't know who they play next week, but he should have a better showing. But like I said, he'll probably be a nickel. He'll probably be a nickel corner. But his bread and butter is going to be on special teams, be it kickoff, punt return. I'm gonna keep it just like that. The next on the list we have is Aubrey Miller Jr. Even though he had 2 tackles in the game last night, I forgot who they played. I think, was it the Falcons? I think they played the Falcons last night. Let me know if I'm right, if they played the Falcons last night. But Aubrey Miller Jr. looks like your prototypical middle linebacker. And the good thing about him was he's all around the ball. He was around the ball the whole time. He was around the ball, carried, tackle. Like, the man is a tackling machine. His bread and butter, again, just like Zay, is going to be on the defensive, is going to be on special teams. That's going to be Aubrey's bread and butter, to get on special teams. Play on special teams, work your butt on special teams. You'll get some playing time in that linebacker rotation. The other point, like you said, the other one is pretty much the problem, James Houston, and he was pretty much a problem last night. in their preseason game. So shout out to James Houston out there for doing his thing. I can't wait to see when they come to Dallas because they do play my boys here in Dallas late in the season. So, and okay, you said X-Man. So X-Man is starting. Cooper Cup is hurt. Mm, mm.
He says Xavier Smith starting.
Yeah, yeah. That's,
Oh wow.
that's nice. That's nice. I like what our boys are doing now. Okay, so he's not started, but is he playing? That's all I know. All I want to know is he playing? Because I know Jacoby Durant is playing too. I just want to know, is he playing? If he's playing, it's still a win for our brand of football, HBCU football. That's all it is. Um, but the man of the hour, y'all, the man of the night, the man of the weekend was Emmanuel Lewis. I mean, Emmanuel Wilson. I just said Emmanuel Lewis. I'm thinking of Webster. Emmanuel Wilson for the Green Bay Packers. My man's had 6 carries, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Running the rock. Running. What you got for me? What you got for us? Emmanuel Wilson, 5'11"?
226 pounds. I
Mm.
didn't know he was 24.
Yeah. So he's a dual product, dual HBCU product. First school he went to was Johnson C. Smith, and
Oh,
then
okay. Charlotte.
and then he transferred to Fort Valley.
Well, that's a 80-yard touchdown against the Cincinnati Bengals. Wow.
Oh yeah, he was balling last night. He was balling last night, and I think if he continues to play like that, this preseason, he will probably be the third running back behind AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones. He will probably be the third running back. Yeah, he was booking. He was skedaddle.
There wasn't a defense in sight. There's only one person.
Yep. Ooh,
That's missed
cut.
coverage. It would. They must have been expecting the ball to be thrown. No, not even thrown because there ain't no DBs out there or safeties. I don't know. That was just a blown call right there. Congratulations though to
Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson. He gonna do what he got to do. He's gonna do what he got to do. Like I said, he's gonna be that third. I think he's gonna be that third string running back for Green Bay. he got to. He got to be that third string running back because in fact if Aaron Jones go down, AJ Dillon is like 240 pounds. That number straight up quad muscles. Um, he ain't the fastest. I mean, he's big, but he ain't the fastest. But to have somebody like that to kind of give you a change of pace, hey, give a change. Like it didn't even look like he was running that fast either, because it looked like he was gliding.
Not gliding.
Like for real. No, I'm just saying he looks like he was gliding on the field. Like he has a stride. Like it's not big, but it's not small, and just it just gliding down the field. What's going on, Pooh Bear from the Golden Boot? What's going on, man? Uh, y'all check out Pooh Bear over there, man. Pooh Bear and Ant Golden Boot podcast. Um, hey, man, they got some good old stuff over there, man. And I'm happy that I got a chance to be on their show twice. Um, good dudes right there. What's going on, Mr. Edwin? Yeah, we looking good. We looking good in the NFL. That's how we supposed to put the product out. Yeah.
HBCUs just overall are putting themselves on the map,
Mm-hmm.
and just reinforcing the sentiment that HBCUs have really good talent. So hopefully we'll see this year a repeat of the scouts making sure that they go to the Fort Valley states, the Jackson states, the South Carolina states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanna. We need them to go there. We need them to go there. Um, but yeah, man, that's something that we, that um, for especially everybody that was a undrafted free agent, and they got their chance to shine on shine on the field. Albeit either it's in the third or fourth quarter, and the second quarter doesn't matter. As long as you got on the field and you went out there and you made plays, that's all these coaches are looking for.
It's my turn.
Yeah, you good.
Okay.
What you got for us?
Okay. So I wanted to highlight Jackson State women's soccer team,
Mm-hmm.
just because right now they are playing a couple of exhibition games, but I wanted to highlight that five of the Jackson State Tigers were named to All SWAC conference. So we have All SWAC first team defender Ayana Pinder, All SWAC first team midfielder Sage Magruder, All SWAC second team defender Marley Thompson, All SWAC second team forward Kendall Terrell, and All SWAC second team midfielder Shantae Blackwood. So this week they played Southern Miss,
It looked
and
like a good game too.
it was a very good game. And then they were tied 2-2. There was really less than 3 minutes left, and Southern Miss scored at the last like 3 minutes. They scored, but it was neck and neck.
Oh man, but when I was trying to get back to it, the feed was terrible. Like
No,
at one,
you talking about on Instagram?
yeah.
So when it's on Instagram, it's kind of like the way that it's being filmed. You would have to move your phone. It's highlighted for basically a phone, not to be like casted on like a StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to figure out which, I guess, if I do decide to stream it again, I would just basically rotate the Instagram page so that it's rotated so that you can see it from the view that you're supposed to see it from. But it gets kind of tricky when you're trying to stream somebody else's um Instagram live, and that's how they're placing the information on there.
Right.
But they beat LA Tech pretty handedly, and then they were really, really close to beating Southern Miss. So that just basically hones in on the level of talent that we have at Jackson State with our soccer team. And the women's soccer team, they are going to be, I want to say, playing, is it Arkansas? Let me
Mm.
see.
God, excuse me. My contact's been bothering me most of the day.
Yeah, so they beat Louisiana Tech 4-1 in Jackson, Mississippi. They only lost by one in Hattiesburg, and it was literally the last 3 minutes of the game. Okay, so they're going to be in this coming Thursday, Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois, at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And then they play Arkansas State, Murray State, Nichols, and ULM. So they're playing some pretty competitive teams. So I like to see that. So their first like conference games not until September 22nd. So right now they're just playing out of conference games.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That is good to know. Um, so I know we was talking about soccer and everything, but did I was gonna ask, did football camp concluded, right, for Jackson State? I think the fall football camp concluded because I think they'll get ready to actually begin actual practice for um week 0, which is like I said, 2 weeks away.
You talking about scrimmages?
Hmm. Well, they finished the fall. They finished their fall camp. They finished fall camp. Um, so they're actually practicing. So, um, get ready to get put in the game plan. Uh, TC give me nervous right here, man, because TC tight lipped about who that quarterback is. He's tight lipped about that quarterback situation. I don't even think it's a situation. I still think that in the end, Jason Brown is going to start, and um, you look at some Zy McDonald coming in to do some I want to say call them trick plays, but specialty plays. I'm gonna put it just like that. So we still got to get Kobe on here. I've already talked to him, so we've already got that hashed out. I mean, I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying I'm like real nervous, but I just want to know who the quarterback gonna be, and I feel like in my my opinion is gonna be Jason Brown.
This is the see, our quarterback room is so loaded that prematurely announcing a quarterback is, there's no reason to do that. Just let people think what they're going to think. Like Jackson State said, they don't know. They're
Mm.
going to find out on the field.
I like this one right here. Said JB gonna might be QB1, QB2 Jacoby Morgan, and QB3 Zy
From
McDonald.
what I understand, our offensive coordinator plans on putting up 40 points, 40 to 50 points a game. So with the 40 to 50 points a game, you will see more than one quarterback because um there's not a head coach who is basically trying to keep his son in the game for the a whole entirety of the game. And so basically you're going to be able to see multiple quarterbacks.
My thing is like when you saying, my whole thing when you were saying like when Prime kept Shador in the game, and when he kept him in the game, and then he got knocked out of the game, and then you saw how the backups were. He did not.
We didn't get to see what the backups were.
Yeah, we did.
No, we did not. Not really. A couple of plays is not enough. And then sometimes the quarterbacks weren't even ready to go in because it was kind of like, I know I'm not getting ready to be in there today.
Nah,
Like
what I'm saying is when they play Alabama A&M, and Shador got knocked on his head, and you put JP Andrade in there. I'm sorry to say this, Andrade is a clipboard warrior. He was not ready to be he was not ready to be in the spotlight at the time. My whole thing was, if you're gonna put a quarterback in to basically kind of dispel everything that was going around as far as that on that particular time, at that particular time, I would have put Grayson in there because he has the upper hand. JP Andrade didn't have that upper hand. That's why I said, to me, even though what I'm saying is, even in blowouts, if you blowing the brakes off of somebody, you gotta make sure that your backup quarterback is pretty much ready and he's developed. This is just my
the
opinion, y'all.
reason why I say that that is not true, that we did not get a full glimpse of it, is because Riccardi Vitali, or Matt Vitali, he's literally playing in like some type of semi-pro league, and he's playing at a high level, and his team was undefeated. I want to say he plays for the Panthers. Let me see what that is. He plays in the European League of Football.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers roll claw, and he's QB1 for that team, and he was playing very well. And then we saw Grayson playing in the spring game, and we were able to see, oh, okay, so he is able to throw a ball. So it's not, I don't think that I think it's presumptuous to state that, oh, the quarterback room was terrible, because you didn't get a chance to actually see them play. They literally got 3 or 4 snaps, and then he really wanted them to kind of like check it down.
But here's my thing.
It was all based off of Shador.
But
Even when they were up 61-15, I'm still gonna keep Shador in. Let's see if he can get another touchdown.
that was wrong thinking though. And here's my whole thing. Just because this is what I'm saying. We saw what happened when they played A&M. Um, when like I said, he got knocked out the game. He got knocked out the game. The backup quarterback was terrible. He was trash. Like
Who was trash?
JP Andrade. Andrade was the backup quarterback last season. He was trash. I don't call Keys nothing like that trash, but he is a clipboard warrior. He's a clipboard warrior. That's just what I'm saying. But like, if you got games like when we play Grambling, you up like 59 to like 17 or so. Take him out the game, preserve him for the next week. Get your boys in there to where they can actually maintain. I mean, you already got a 30-40 point lead. There's no reason for you to keep your starting quarterback in there to try to, boost up his statistical resume. So that was that. In reality, JP was not it. Grayson should have been your backup QB last season.
How do we know that he wasn't putting in JP Andrade so that some of the other quarterbacks didn't get a chance to look,
Cause
or
he was
didn't get a chance to outshine Shador? Like, oh, maybe he should play. I mean,
no,
it's
it,
all politics. Let's just keep it a
no,
buck
that, but
here.
that, no, but what I'm saying, it was politics. What I'm saying is he was trash. He was dumpster trash juice. A blind man could see that he was trash. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there like that. So I'm what I'm saying is this season, hopefully, if we let's just say we get into a game, we up by 30 or 40, and it's like third or fourth quarter. I'm taking my starter out. I'm putting in the backup. I'm putting the backups in. All you got to do is just basically maintain the lead. You don't have to do nothing spectacular. You basically running the ball. You get into a little bit of trouble, go and throw the ball
Yeah,
out.
and I don't think that that's what, like, for this particular offensive coordinator and for this particular coaching staff. There's not a play favorites. There's not a I'm trying to make certain players look good because I know that they're getting ready to go somewhere else. Like, it's not about that. So for me, I feel like if we're up 2 to 3 touchdowns, they gonna sit that court. They're sit down QB1 and let
That's what
QB2.
but that's what I just said. No, that's what I just said. I'm saying sit down. Like if you up by 40 points, sit your starting QB down. Basically, you should have no other start. If you up by that much, you don't need to have no starters in the game. You don't need to have no starters in the game. You need to have your second string in the game. You know what I'm saying? And if the second string score, hell, it just said that your team was trash. I'm putting in the aspect of being more of somebody that, yes, I want to win the game, but I gotta develop these guys too, because what I'm saying is Dion didn't do that last season. He didn't do that last season. Like, and I understand. I understand that the whole offense was built for Shador. It was never built for nobody else. It was built for Shador. But what I'm saying is, if you take the head off the snake, you see how the offense was running when that particular person was not in the game. It was sluggish. Dude didn't know where to throw the ball at. It looked like he couldn't throw a 10-yard out, like to the sideline. Like what I'm saying is develop, and I'm looking at it is I'm hoping TC is developing his QBs just in case somebody go down. Hey, you the next man up. And that's really in a sense that's really what football is. Football, score more than the other team. If you ain't getting it done, next man up. But and yeah, I understand. Like I said, I understand what everybody's saying is he wasn't trying to develop nobody else but Shador. That was it, and that's all. But even your star quarterback, when you up by that much, needs to be out the game. When we played Florida A&M in Miami last season, we up 56. It's time to take Shador out. It was time.
Shador was been out when it was up. Like, yes, because he was on the sideline talking to a reporter when the interception happened for.
Okay,
So he
so
was out.
he was out. Okay, so in the Grambling game when we was up by 40, was he out then? No, he wasn't out then. He was still in that game. Like, and what I'm saying is, what you're gonna see this season, what you're gonna see from this team now, and what you saw from last year, what you didn't see from last year is development of players that you know what I'm saying. You got to make sure that they're out on the field, and so that's the thing. TC is a coach, but he got to work like a CEO, but he gonna be a coach first. Dion is a CEO that is trying to be a that was still trying to be a coach. And I don't care if he did coach offensive coordinator in high school, it still didn't translate to what he could do on the field. Now we shall see August the 26th. I'm not down and nobody on the team or nobody, on the coaching staff. I just want to make sure that these dudes, that these men are being developed. That's it. That was it. That's all I said. But I'm glad that we kind of got that out the way. I kind of had it
Yeah,
on my
because
mind.
like versus Gremlin, Andrade was 4 of 5, and he passing at 80%. He had 56 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 29-yard pass. And then you have to also understand, I'm not making excuses, but it's the truth, which is when you switch out the ones, it's not just the quarterback getting switched out; it's the offensive line as well. So it's premature. I will say this: I'm ready for this particular season with our new staff and our new roster, and I'm ready to see who QB1 is as well.
Yep, yep. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I will be watching that game like when TCU plays Colorado. I just want to see. I don't know. I ain't gonna say the debacle, but I just want to see what he's gonna do in that type of pressure from you know see what his team, what he got in that team right there. Because yeah, I'm gonna follow. Because like I said, it's certain players that I love that play on the team that I want to follow. Shador was one of them. But let's get into the next thing on my list right here. On our list is HBCU Go Sports. More games on deck. So there is a feast of HBCU football games for that's be viewed in 2023. All right. So the this is coming from HBCU game day. So between August 26th kickoff of the upcoming 2023 football season and its December 16th culmination, fans can watch or stream more than 150 HBCU games. That's up from the 140 available in 2022. So,
Those are
uh,
gonna be streaming the Chicago Football Classic. That's gonna be good.
so let's see. You got the ESPN family of networks. Basically, they got the BX Swag Challenge, so that's in prime time, set 7:30 on next in two Saturdays from now. Um,
They got
you
the
have
Carolina Classic,
Carolina Classic,
which is Benedict College versus Shaw University.
which is a good. That's gonna be nice right there.
They got the Southern Heritage Classic.
Yep.
Oh wow, they got the Southern Heritage Classic.
They got the Southern Heritage
I
Classic,
remember last year it was on Facebook Live. I like the thing that I liked about, which I like about all those streams, and I don't know if it's feasible for HBCU Go to do that. And that is adding a chat to these games is engagement. Like when people are able to watch the game, but they're also able to talk mess in the chat, definitely adds to the engagement. Um, so who else they got? The Willard Bailey Classic,
Yeah, so that's Fayetteville State, and is that
Virginia
the Virginia
Virginia
Union?
Union.
Mm-hmm.
They got, oh, okay. Then they have just, I guess, they have a lot of SIAC, CIAA games.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have the Florida A&M versus the University of West Florida will be on there on
Oh
HBC.
yeah. Where
So
Mr. Ford at so he can get on this right here?
where's Mr. Ford? Mr. Ford, they got one home game, Texas Southern at Grambling. Mr. Campbell said that Grambling only has like 2 home games, so there's one of them right there.
Yeah, because everything else is on the road. They'll be in Dallas September the 30th. Like,
I like that they are expanding the football to D2 games as well. You know, not just SWAC. I don't see. Do you? Is they got? Do they have the MIAC on any of these? No, I don't see MIAC on none of these. Who does MIAC have a deal with?
um, the MEAC should have a deal with. I know they're gonna be on ESPN networks, so they kind of got. I wouldn't say the same deal as we did, but they close to it. But they on the ESPN. They should be on. I don't know. I don't know what other network they should be on, but excuse me. You got so this is the thing. You got a ESPNU will carry the Friday, November the 10th SWAC game, Grambling at Pine Bluff. Uh, ESPU games debut with the September the 3rd Red Tails Classic in Montgomery, Alabama, matching Tuskegee and Fort Valley. So that's 7 o'clock. So that's in a sense prime time on ESPNU. Of course, on um, the afternoon game on the 3rd, the Orange Blossom Classic, Jack State FAMU. That's on ESPN. So, whew, yeah. So you got um, HBCU Go is going to be good because they got the HBCU Go kickoff show. So that's going to be hosted by Charlie Neal. Shout out to the OG. So he'll be at Canton, Ohio's Pro Football Hall of Fame on August 26th. The schedule begins with a Saturday, September the 2nd classic doubleheader. So it's a doubleheader, y'all, for this week, for that week right there. So the Chicago Football Classic pits Central State, the SIAC, and Mississippi Valley, the SWAC at Historic Soldier Field at 4 p.m. Like you said, the SIAC versus CIAA Carolina Classic matching SIAC defender champ Benedict and CIAA contender Shaw kicks at 6 p.m. in Columbia, South Carolina. Other classics on the HBCU Go broadcast schedule include the Southern Heritage Classic, which is September the 9th. That's Pine Bluff and Tennessee State. Hold on. Now Southbound, I ain't having words. I just want to make sure who the quarterback is. That's all I worry about. I ain't tripping. Uh, like I said, the Willa Bailey Classic in Richmond, Virginia, Fayetteville State, and Virginia Union. It will carry Alabama A&M September the 30th homecoming game versus Tuskegee, and we'll be back in Richmond for the Doug Wilder Classic, Virginia State versus Union on Saturday, November the 4th. So 5 SIAC in conference games are also on the HBCU Gold the Griot schedule. Besides Shaw's game at Benedict, HBCU Gold and the Griot will carry 5 other CIAA in conference games. The network's CIAA schedule ends with the CIAA title game from Salem, Virginia on Saturday, November the 11th. Additionally, all CIAA conference games are to be available on its CIAA Sports Network. Make sure y'all get into that. Other carriers. So basically, here's the independents, y'all. If looking for North Carolina A&T and Hampton games, programs that have taken up residence in the newly named Coastal Athletic Association, I'm still gonna call them. His mama name in Colonial, I'm gonna call them Colonial.
Wait, what? What? What?
Oh yeah, the Colonial changed their name from they changed the name to the Coastal Athletic Association.
Oh Lord.
So Flow Football, which is $19.99 per month, $150 for the year, is the spot. Flow
Wait, hold
Sports
up. What? 1999
a month.
Flow Sport. Who did
FLO.
this? Who did this deal?
Apparently the
Listen,
the CAA.
listen. This is I promise you, I'm not trying to be funny. 1999 a month?
You know, I pay like how much I pay for ESPN.
You
I
gonna
pay
say it's 9.99
yeah, I
unless
pay $9.99.
I mean, I technically I should just get the one that's 12.99, but I get free Hulu with the T-Mobile. Then my son he does the Disney Plus, so I usually just buy
Oh, you
Disney
got the
Plus.
bundle.
And no, I don't do the bundle because I'm only gonna watch football, or I'm only gonna use ESPN probably 4 months out the year.
Well, you know, I use
And then
ESPN
they keep
throughout the whole year.
switching it, so it's not necessarily ESPN Plus. One game gonna be on ESPN 2, another game gonna be on ESPN 3. So one's gonna be on ESPN. So then you have to get the Sling subscription or the YouTube TV subscription. You get the
I,
you get the free trial, the 30-day trial, and then you cancel it before the 30 days come up.
I like YouTube TV. I like it. It's better.
Mhm.
So this is how they got Flow Sports opens with Norfolk State at Hampton and North Carolina Central at North Carolina A&T, the Aggie Eagle Classic on September the 9th in non-conference games. 8 Hampton CAA games will air on Flow, including the October 28th matchup with A&T for the Pirates homecoming. 6 North Carolina A&T CAA games are on Flow, including the Aggies November the 4th homecoming versus Towson. Uh, NBC Peacock is carrying Tennessee State's first historic ever matchup at Notre Dame on September the 2nd. The NBC Sports will also carry the November the 25th Bayou Classic in New Orleans as Southern and Grambling go at it, as always. CBS Sports Network has 2 HBCU versus FBS games on September the 9th. The ACC Network got 2 games. SEC Network got 2 games, and the Pac-12 Network is central at UCLA on September the 16th. Get into the act when HBCU teams play teams from those conferences. So
For 19.99 a month.
a month.
That's a little high.
That is high. I won't get it. I just had to hear like campfire tales from the other folks.
You said what?
I just had to hear like campfire tales from everybody else.
They at least got one free month subscription, so you can get at least 4 games out of there.
Mm. Oh, ooh, Edwin, hold on. I like this. I like this question. So he says, "What's the difference between YouTube and YouTube TV?" YouTube TV is the actual uh, streaming provider that's through YouTube. It's through YouTube and Google, everything, right? So it's basically YouTube TV is basically like cable, but you're streaming it. But you still could get live. You could get your live news. They carry all the your local channels. Um, you pick your bundle as far as who you want, like what you want on there, like Stars, HBO, Cinemax, whatever you want. Sports, sports bundle. You want a sports bundle, you can pick that. And so, more you put on there, the more that's gonna add up. But your basic is gonna be like, I think it's like $60. I don't know. This ain't Mr. Ford.
Did you see that we got some kickers, coach? Did you see our kicker? Our new
I
kicker?
ain't see it. Mr. Ford.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. I will wonder you gonna come back in because I
I
had
was
some.
trying to finish up watching the Braves. They well, I mean, the game was out of hand, so
Oh, hold
um,
on. Let me check and see because I've been wanting to watch. I ain't
I
said watch
think
the
they scored
Braves.
21 points the first game. There was a doubleheader today.
Dang.
Yeah, I think they scored 21 points in the first game.
Ooh, that's 6-0 right now. Oh, that's 6-0.
Yeah,
That
that's what I
was
said. I let it go. I've been watching preseason
Ooh,
football all day. The Eagles and it was the Ravens was on. I watched Liberty, your boys, Dallas Cowboys was on.
yeah.
I didn't see the whole game. They was doing little highlights, and there was somebody else I watched. But the Colts was on Indianapolis. But
Yeah, Tennessee and
yeah,
Chicago. Oh, shout out. Hold on. Shout out to Coach Mike Vrabel from the Titans for letting Coach Terrell Williams, who's
yeah,
an HBCU product, be the head coach for today.
oh yeah. Now where's Terrell from?
Dang, where is he from? I know he from he. Let me check and see, cause let me check and see. Terrell Williams.
YouTube TV, Mr. Moore, it's more like Sling. It's like cable, all your cable channels that you get, but it's streaming through YouTube.
Uh, Let me see. He is okay. Well, he went to East Carolina, so it's. Let me see. He was at East Carolina,
Did he
but
coach at HBCU?
uh, North Carolina A&T. He was the defensive line coach.
And his name is Terrell Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the Broadway. Who was the head coach when he was there?
Oh, that was from '99 to '01.
That sounds like wait a minute, 99. That's Billy Hayes.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Hmm.
yeah. I was talking to Edwin. Yeah, you can record programs on YouTube TV. They have their DVR is a cloud-based DVR, so it's an unlimited cloud-based DVR. So you good. when I basically when I was staying by myself and I had my YouTube TV, that's what I use right there. But yeah, now this is this is the dude Lapourier, uh, Timona.
Uh, yes.
Okay,
We got us a kicker, coach.
I needed to talk to you about something, Mr. Ford. But before we
Uh-huh.
get to this, we was talking about HBCU Go. They're
Uh-huh.
gonna they're doubling up on the on they're doubling up on the
Games that
broadcast the games that remember we was talking about it was gonna be they had one game a week.
Right, right. Uh-huh.
So they probably it's gonna be like 2 games a week.
That's 2 games from the SWAC.
Everybody. I don't
Oh,
even
they're
see the
gonna
MEAC.
okay, okay.
I don't
So
see
they're
the
gonna
MEAC. But the CIW, the SIAC got to deal with them.
right, I
Um,
did see that. What they got, like 5 or 6 games?
do they got about 5 or 6 games? Tomorrow.
which one?
CIAA. I mean SIAC.
So they got the Chicago Football Classic, that's one. The Carolina Classic, or are you just talking about when you say the SIAC, you mean just between the two of them or if they're playing somebody else?
I meant just between them. How many games
Okay,
is
so they have Clark Atlanta versus Fort Valley,
uh-huh.
Kentucky State versus Albany State,
Okay.
Benedict College versus Miles College,
Okay.
Albany State versus Miles College,
Okay.
and that looks like it's it.
But
And
they
then
got
of
a
course they have the Chicago Football Classic, but that's between Valley and Central State.
Right, right. Okay.
And then they have the Carolina Classic, which is Benedict College versus Shaw University. That's SIAC versus CIAA.
Yeah, Shaw might get the beat down on that. Because that guy might be on this might be the swan song for that Chennis Berry. Yeah, some people gonna throw a bag at him at
And
them
he's
high
not
pin.
going to take it. Have you seen that beautiful campus?
Yeah, some people now the word is that the MEAC is going after Benedict College. I don't know how true that is, but that's supposed to be that's what the street people are saying that
What street people, Mr. Ford? You got some
we
inside
got the gossip
access?
people down there. They tell you stuff.
The
But
MEAC's trying to
they
recruit.
are looking at Benedict College trying to get them to join the MEAC.
Cause look, we talked about this we talked about this all this week. That conference realignment is no joke. When
Yeah, the MEAC needs some more people. They need at least 2 more. Because my thing with the MEAC is it starts with that Maryland Eastern Shore. If you can't do football, why are you in the conference? Why are you in the conference?
Mr.
And
Ford.
they got a history. The Maryland Eastern Shore, that should be called Maryland State. That's Art Shell School. Gerald Irons. They got a history. I think it's that coach was named Skip McCain. Them guys were big time. They were battling Florida A&M at one time.
yeah,
Yeah, they got a history. So if you can't, and then they just got all that money from the state of Maryland. Maryland gave them
I feel
half a
like
$1 million.
I feel like the MEAC has a lot of like in-house or realigning that they need to do
Well, the
with
main thing with the MEAC is they don't
just
have
the
no
things that
leadership in the
they have.
conference office. That's the
Yeah,
main
but
thing
that's
with the
what I'm
MEAC. They don't have no
saying.
leadership. They
Like,
hadn't had any in the last 25 years.
if you're going to include other football programs or you're going to include other people into your conference, you got to make sure that you're not inviting people to a sinking ship, something that's already, you need to correct the mistakes, or I don't know if it's necessarily mistakes, but they, like you said, Mr.
Bad
Ford,
leadership. That's all it is. Bad leadership at the top.
bad
That's the
deals,
problem.
bad leadership,
Bad
bad
leadership at the top.
I don't know. Before we continue, I want to make sure that y'all see the slide that we got. Make sure we tackle child speech impediment. All proceeds will sponsor a child in need. You can cash app donation to HBCU OverDrive. Make sure let's get this done. I just had to put that out there. But yeah, when it comes down to it, that the conference realignment thing is always going to be a talk because um, all the dominoes were starting to fall. Um, when you saw Arizona State, because they came in as a couple. Y'all know that, right? They was founded pretty much the same year in 1885. It's written in their constitution, so it's pretty much one. If one go, the other got to go too. Um, Also, when you brought in, like I said, Colorado going back to the Big 12, and then you bring in Utah and Arizona State, go to the Big 12, that pushes into like 16, and then um, Oregon and Washington like, hey man, we ain't get left out here because ain't no way I'm joining the Mountain West Conference, so they gonna jump ship. They went to the Big 10. Um,
I don't understand it. So it's just weird to me that we have all this realignment, but we have folks who promote emulating Power Five media rights deals, Power Five structures, Power Five bowl games. You have people who advocate HBCUs should be doing what Power Fives are doing,
I
and
hope not.
Power Fives are
yeah,
falling apart like
well,
cornbread.
well, the
Well,
thing about
it's not really falling apart. It's monopoly capitalism, and monopoly capitalism, the big fish eat the small fish, and that's what's happening in college football right now. The ESPN and the Fox News, not Fox News, but Fox Network has basically said, like the Qs used to say, Claude, if you ain't Q, you ain't shit. And so what they saying now, yeah, yeah. And so what they saying now, if you ain't Power Five, they ain't got nothing for you. Cause see, let me tell you something. They finna run a pimp game on Florida A&M, Southern, FAMU, and some more of them SWAC schools. And the pimp game is gonna come from some of them Group of Five FCS schools. Gonna try to tear away those schools I just named away from the SWAC because of the fact that they're self-sufficient. And see,
And
some of
they
these,
will fall for it. Oh, they'll
well,
fall
hopefully they
for it.
won't.
And
But
then
let me
we
just say
like
this.
North
Let me
Carolina
just say this.
A&T.
Let me just say this. See what the ESPN is saying to these Power Five, I mean, not Power Five, but to these Group of Five schools is we can't carry you no more. Because I don't know if y'all know it. Money is drying up in America. And when they have this BRICS conference in about 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to get really hot around here as far as the economy. But see, what's going to happen now is it's a game. And see, this I heard Blue talking the other night saying that he's concerned about the Celebration Bowl. He ain't got to be concerned about the Celebration Bowl. The Celebration Bowl is stable. That's going to be here. Whether ESPN cares it or not, somebody else will pick it up. See, the problem with the SWAC now is that we're hoping that we don't have no idiotic decisions being made by the SWAC office, by these SWAC presidents, and by these SWAC athletic directors. Idiotic decisions like they done made at North Carolina A&T, who is just out of they ain't gonna never win in nothing.
And Tennessee.
Hampton, who ain't gonna never win in nothing. Tennessee State ain't winning in nothing. Definitely ain't gonna win in football. And we don't need these SWAC people to fall for the okadoke, for the pimp game from these people that's coming. Because it's coming.
I mean,
It's
I've
coming.
already heard conversations
It's
about
coming.
we need to move up or we need to do this.
How you gonna move up and these people done told you got to pay $5 million? Who got $5 million to move up?
I
that's
just
half of your,
I feel
but that's
like
half of your,
I feel
that's half of
like
your athletic budget right there.
Yeah, you got to pay
right.
$5 million. They see what they saying on the FBS level now. They don't want no more FCS schools in the FBS.
You
They
ain't gonna
don't
see
want
it.
them.
You gonna this is uh,
That's like the ULMs,
Yeah,
the
all of them. One's called the
Louisiana
Conference
Tech,
USA. They don't give a damn about them.
but the
One's called the Sun Belt. They don't give a
Jacksonville,
damn about them.
the
All of them.
Jacksonville State.
What they want right now is they basically want 2 to 3 power conferences. That being the SEC, the Big Ten, and then the Big 12. You see these people trying to destroy the ACC? Who would ever thought that? Listen, they want to pull Florida State out. They want to pull Clemson out. Okay. Uh, and when you do that, basically the ACC is going to fall. See, here's the thing that y'all got to realize: ESPN and Fox They don't give a damn about the student athlete. They don't give a damn about these college fans because you're going to kill all the rivalries. You're going to kill all the rivalries. Then these kids, every 2 and 3 weeks, you got to go all the way from Penn State out to Oregon. And then the next week, you got to fly out to Southern Cal. That lets you know they don't give a damn about them student athletes. They don't care. The major thing with Fox and with ESPN is money. That's their God, money. They don't care about the game. And they in their way of destroying college football.
I'm saying like this. I put it like this. The domino, look, the writing was all on the wall when Texas and OU decided to pull out of the Big 12.
Well, they didn't just pull up. They didn't just decide. That was ESPN's. See what ESPN has done. ESPN and Fox basically control college football.
Right.
And they flex their muscle by pulling Texas and Oklahoma out of the Big 12 and putting them in the SEC. Okay, that was not about those schools. It's about the power of these networks, because that's what them networks are about. See, they don't care about the fans. See, what they saying now is they want regions. Okay, that's why you put Rutgers, who ain't got nothing in common with them folks in the Big Ten, because the Big Ten office said they wanted that New York market.
Yep.
Another thing you did, you put Maryland in the Big Ten, who ain't got nothing in common with the Big Ten, and they said they wanted the DC market.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's happening now is, but see, what's happening now is what they want to do. They want to go back to the BCS model of monopolizing all of the money. Who would ever thought these people would do Stanford and Cal Berkeley like that? Who would ever thought that?
They killed basically they killed the
Pac-12. They killed it. And really, they don't kill the ACC.
But Mr. Ford, here's the thing. This is who killed it. I can't pronounce the man's name, but it's the commissioner for the Pac-12. He killed the Pac-12 when he decided not to get a media deal. It doesn't matter what type of media deal it was, but not to get the media deal to help sustain the conference. You don't do that. Guess what? These schools like, look, we can't sit here and twiddle our thumbs while we waiting for you to come up with some sort of deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out there and get it on our own.
Well, it goes back to what you just said earlier. It had been on the wall, and what was on the wall was the Pac-12 football was too mediocre. Okay, it's been in the last 40, 50 years, the epicenter or the headquarters for Pac-12 football has always had to be in Los Angeles. That meant that Southern Cal had to be competitive. UCLA had to be competitive. The problem with Southern Cal, they were nothing after Pete Carroll left. They basically just fell apart. The same thing with UCLA. Now, the best team out there in the last 10 years probably has been the Oregon Ducks. Yeah. But who wants to go to Oregon? Nobody.
But
it's the mediocrity of the Pac-12 that has led to their demise. But the stabbing actually was done by the ESPN network and by that Fox network. They're behind all of this.
But aren't a lot of these programs, even though they have millions and millions of dollars and they have the media rights deals and they have the football games where they're garnering millions of dollars per game, aren't they still in the red in their athletic budgets?
Yeah, most of these schools are in debt, heavily in debt.
They're still
all of them in debt because they it's like an arms race. One get a new table, the other got to get a new table and a longer table. So all of them, you can look at Alabama and the debt they got. Look at the debt that Michigan got. All of them is heavily in debt. But see what they're saying is the money that's put out there for those bowl games by ESPN, they don't want to share that money with no group of five. They do not want to. And see, I'm telling y'all, you're going to see it. You might not can see it now. In the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see a lot of these group of 5 schools. They're going to go bankrupt. That's why I'm telling you now, it's a pimp game coming for Jackson. It's a pimp game coming for Southern. And it's a pimp game coming for Florida A&M. Just hope that these people in the SWAC office don't fall for this mess, that these SWAC presidents and these SWAC ADs don't make them dumb decisions like they did at A&T, like they did at Hampton, and like they did at Tennessee State. Just we got to hope and pray they don't make them dumb decisions, because it's a pimp game.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. If I'm the SWAC, I'm not moving up to no FBS. Why? Because there's nothing for you now, since everything is based off of power, where it ain't Power 5 no more, and in hell it ain't a Power 4 because the ACC is weak as well water.
Yeah.
It's the Power 3. It's the Big 12, that the Big 10, and the SEC. At least the Big 12 has some sense to go, like, look, if we want to stay getting them checks. If we want to stay popping, we got to follow what these dudes doing over here.
It looks like they also have like ridiculous amounts of debt for these huge facilities that they have built, and all these. We look at the facilities and we say, "Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful facility," and they owe millions and millions and millions of dollars on it.
That's why they don't want to share the money with no group of 5 no more.
Well,
they don't want their check cut.
Remember,
they don't let black universities take out that much debt. You know what I'm saying?
No, without a doubt, never. But remember, this their country. This ain't our country. This their country.
But you know what though? This is the writing was on the wall, and it all started. I'm gonna tell you where it all started at. Tulane, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they made that run in the BCS, they went. What was the bowl? They went to the Sugar Bowl. Yeah, they played the Sugar Bowl. Sean King, you remember him?
Sean King. Yeah,
Sean King.
It was one of the Bowden boys was the head coach.
Yeah, it was.
He left Tulane and went to Clemson.
Tommy. It was Tommy Bowden.
Tommy Bowden.
Okay, so when Tulane came in, like at that time, a bowl payout for the Sugar Bowl was like what, maybe
$18 million.
$18 million back then.
$18 million. So
guess what? You got to share that money. You got to get that money to them, because that's what, to me, that's where they threw that monkey wrench at. And then they really caused chaos from the group of 5 standpoint when Boise State started making a whole bunch of noise in college football. Boise State started off as a D2 school, as a junior college, went to a D2 school, was an FCS, and then jumped to D1.
I remember when Boise State played Grambling, I think in the NCAA 1AA playoff. That was in 1980. That's when Grambling had Trumaine Johnson.
And look how they did. They still in the, they went from the WAC, and then they went to the Mountain West, and they haven't left the Mountain West yet. It was the Big 12 was trying to pull their teeth to get them over there to them, and they said we're gonna stand pat. Now, like, the real wrench that was thrown up in there was Tulane again last season when they went to the Cotton Bowl and they played USC. Hey, come on now. Tulane wasn't supposed to be in the Cotton Bowl. Like, the couple of years before, Cincinnati wasn't even supposed to be in what was the bowl game that they played in?
They played in Atlanta against the University of Georgia.
Yeah. And before that, Memphis wasn't supposed to be in the game playing against Penn State. at the Cotton Bowl.
And that's
Like,
exactly why HBCUs should look at this and how they don't want them in these bowl games. And that's exactly why the Celebration Bowl is so important. And
the
creating your own bowls and getting your own sponsors is important because they're
but
Yeah,
letting you
yeah.
know that they do not want you in those spaces. That's fine. It's time out to stop trying to be included in or being in spaces where you're not wanted.
and here's the
Making
thing, and
your making your space is the hot spot, which the Celebration Bowl is by far one of the best postseason watched type of bowls that they have.
but here's
And
the thing,
attendance.
but here's the thing though. They don't care about the power. They don't care about the bowls either. They are where they only want the playoff.
Well, that's why they increased it to 12.
They increase it to
That's why they
12.
increased. Because see, what they want is if it's 12, five from the Big Ten, five from the SEC, and whatever left for the others. Because that's what they're looking for. Because they want to monopolize that money. Like you said, see what after Tulane went 12-0 that year with Sean King, they sued. And it was proven in court that the BCS was
Was
monopolizing the
monopolizing
money
all the money.
for the power school, the Alabamas, those kinds of schools like that. That's what they proved. That's why they had to get rid of the BCS.
Right. So you saying Soldier James, you saying that mindset ain't help the players get drafted. No, it's not even about the mindset of helping them get drafted. Helping them get drafted is on them. It's all on that player. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
on it's not on just the institution. It's on the player. The player wants to go to the league. He gonna do whatever he got to do to get himself into the league. Even if he got to go up to a P5. Well, hell, it ain't a P5 no more. It's a
I
P3.
don't understand why do people want Jackson State to go to the FBS so
We
bad?
don't need to go. I'm gonna say it like this: we don't need to go to FBS. Why? Because I'm gonna tell you this. It blew. You still on here? He gonna tell you why go up to FBS just to have the name the FBS, and you not gonna get no money. I mean, you're gonna get some sort of money, but what are you playing for? Are you playing for this stinking, the steak and elbow? Are you playing for the Sizzler Bowl? You're not gonna get to the point to play for a national championship. Our national championship at HBCU is that Celebration Bowl.
There you
So
go.
we need to make sure that what we have is sustainable on our level. And the other thing too is the FCS. If you really want to think about it, the FCS really want that. They really want to go do the bowls. If you really think about it, the FCS wants to do the bowls because why would you want? Like, if you're a school and you want to host a team in the playoffs, you're gonna pay that money in a pot to host a school in the playoffs. That's the reason why schools like North Dakota State don't take their ass out of Fargo.
Well, I mean, nobody's telling North Dakota State or South Dakota State that they need
To
to be
jump, yeah,
FBS.
they ain't telling them to jump up.
They
Because they're
just
not going to do it because
They
they're
not
not
gonna.
they
done.
just telling
They're
they
not
just
going to do
telling
it.
the HBCUs that's who y'all need to play so we can see how good y'all measure up. But who has the most name brand recognition as far as awareness? I think that Jackson State needs to stay with other HBCUs because that's where you guys are getting your dominance from. That's
And
where
that's where the money is going to be made. It's
your
money,
dominance
like
as far
Garvey
as
said, stay black, be black, buy black.
your attendance
You know?
numbers,
Yeah.
the viewership,
That's where the money at.
rivalries, all of that is HBCU versus HBCU. So
How
why would you go away from that when Tennessee State University is a great you could pop Mr. Ford, don't you think you could do a study over when they left
They
or when
left in the 80s. They've been a shell of themselves ever since.
but when
how
they
the
independent though,
alumni support
they were
and
Yeah,
how
when I
independent.
was in school, they were independent, but they joined the OVC in the 80s.
and just
It was after
over
Big
time
John Mary died.
the decline in rivalry. So basically the biggest rivalry that they had was, of course, as far as HBCUs, the biggest attended game for them was the Southern Heritage Classic.
That's their
Can,
biggest game. That was their
can I
biggest game.
can I say something? Let me say this right here. I want to address this right here. You saying that players from HBCUs ain't scared to move up? That's understandable. They ain't scared to move up. But why move up when you probably gonna be a third string defensive end? Why move up when you're gonna be the fourth string running back? Why try to move up to another school like that when you ain't even gonna sniff the field?
That doesn't.
You want
I don't think that they won't sniff the field. It's just if you have all the things that you need to be successful at an HBCU, then why would you move
that
up?
what? But what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying is this is all I'm saying
We've
is
seen
is.
Tank Dell move to what the
But
Houston.
Tank Dell is he ain't even human. That man is
Jalen Baldwin
that
was
man is.
playing. Jalen Baldwin was playing for Jackson State, and
Yeah, but
he
he moved to
transferred out
Michigan, and
to Michigan,
he was not the same when he went to Michigan.
and
He
but
didn't get the playing time.
He didn't get the
he
playing
still
time
is,
at Michigan.
and
It
he
don't.
still is with the Cleveland Browns. My point is this: you don't the going FBS narrative, moving away from what is working, and you can look at Tennessee State and see that it's not what it's cracked up to be.
Look
You
at
can
A&T and Hampton. Don't
find
forget them.
the
A&T and Hampton.
and you can see that it's not clutch. Moving to PWI conferences or
Mm-mm.
being independent is worse. Why would you want to stand alone?
Well, no, because see, being independent, you can do whatever you want. Like that's the reason why. Like, say on the
Being
let me
independent,
say
you're
like this on the
responsible for
let,
everything.
let me say like this on the FBS level. Why, if I'm Stanford with the name brand that I have on the academic level, why in the hell would I even think about going to the ACC where I could stand alone and be independent as a football school? But now when it comes to your other sports like basketball, your Olympic sports, baseball, whatever you got, I could go to another conference and make sure that those sports are going to be sustained for years to come out, because you're going to get the payout from the conference. But as far as for football goes, for like Stanford, I go independent in a heartbeat.
These
Like,
schools are struggling. Like HBCUs are struggling at the FCS level.
I mean, well, I'm just saying this is what I'm saying. This is all I've said. I put it in a sense. I was talking to somebody. I was talking about somebody thing in the chat. But if I like I said, if I'm Stanford, I'm going independent. Cal don't have that luxury to go independent. They don't have that luxury. They got to find a conference to play in, to be in, to sustain the money that they was trying to, that they was getting, how they was getting like in the Pac-12. Like Oregon State can't be independent because Oregon State is damn near so dependent on Oregon because Nike is in the backyard. Like, they don't have that cachet. Washington State don't have that cachet like that. So if I'm those schools, I'm moving to the Mountain West, and that's the end of the Pac-12. So that this is just all I'm saying. But I know what we're saying as far as with the HBCUs. We don't have the money right now to sustain to go up to a FBS. And why would I want to go up to FBS when all the other FBS conferences that are G5 are really considered a it's a bougier FCS conference. The MAC is a upper FCS conference that is pretending to be FBS. The Conference USA is supposed to be it was supposed to be in the same realm as a Big 12 and the Pac-10 at the time when they first came up, but they don't have so many schools come in and come out. Then you posing yourself as a bougie FCS conference that is disguised as FBS. Like all these teams that you think about, these last teams that moved up, Jacksonville State,
For what?
Kennesaw
Why?
State,
Yeah, why? Why did they move? Well, Kennesaw
Kennesaw
State does
State,
have
older,
43,000. They
right?
do have 43,000 students.
Old Dominion, James Madison, Sam Houston. Who else am I missing here? Like
A lot of
why?
them.
Why are y'all moving up now in order to be in a conference where you're not going to be on the same level as these big conferences that you have right now? You're not. You're not. That like just stay. I mean, I'm gonna be on the Sunbelt Conference. Sunbelt Conference was, oh my god, Sunbelt Conference is trash. Like everybody's moving. Like, okay, so the Athletic, which was the old Big East, at the time, um, the Big East, the schools, the Catholic schools, they wanted to be about basketball because that's what their conference was made off of, basketball. But they got into the business of football money, and they couldn't sustain that conference. So they broke away, decided to go back to being the Big East as far as the basketball standpoint, and then they made the American. So now what you do, you pillage the Big 12 pillaged the American with Houston, who I said that Cincinnati and
Central Florida.
Central Florida. Here's another thing. If I was the Big 12, I'm poaching Memphis. Why? Because you got a brand in basketball. You got good football, but your biggest brand is going to be basketball. You got somebody that can match up with Kansas in basketball. Like that's something that I would have done right there. Now you just basically you basically all these other schools that's moving in, the UNTs and the Rices and stuff like that, you basically another Conference USA. That's it. That's it. That's it. That automatic qualifier that you wanted to get for a New Year's Six bowl, you could just throw that down the drain. You could flush that down the toilet. Cause it ain't worth the paper that's written on it, man. Like you got the United Athletic Conference, which is the old WAC conference. They want to come back and play, be on the FBS level. I don't see that happening. You got all these other schools that's in that conference. It was the old ASUN and it was the old WAC, but you got some of them from the Southland Conference that pretty much got kicked out, which was Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston, Abilene Christian. It was one more, but in Tarleton State, you got kicked out of the Southland, and you in this new conference that's a merger between the WAC and the ASUN, and you trying to use that to move up to FBS. Please, I'm sorry. Stay where you at. Stay where you at. Stay where you at. I'm gonna tell you just
Jackson
like
State does not need to be in CUSA nothing. No.
So
no, you
don't fall for the pimp game.
Lord, it'll be the biggest mistake that Jackson State ever did.
They don't need to move up to no G5 conference whatsoever. Those G5 conferences, guess what's gonna happen? They're coming back.
They going bankrupt. That's what's going to happen to them. Especially when ESPN cut them off. Because that's what they're getting ready to do.
Right. They're going back down. They're going to be an
they're gonna
SCS conference
they're gonna stop playing football.
Like it's a monopoly. But yeah, man, you know what? When it comes to the conference realignment, because it ain't over. It ain't over by a long shot. Because it's probably gonna be it's gonna be the power three. Because those schools in the ACC, they're gonna get absorbed by somebody else. It's going. This what's gonna happen. Is they're gonna get absorbed by somebody else.
Yeah,
So
Florida State wants out. Clemson wants out. Yeah, because those are really the football people right there. Clemson and Florida State. They want out quickly. Because I remember they said last week they told Florida State to get out. They got to pay $300 million. They said they'll pay it because they want out. They said they want in the SEC.
hey, Mayor, I'm not denying nothing. I'm talking. We speaking facts. Jackson State don't need to go FBS whatsoever. Stay where we at. We sustain what we got in the SWAC. We got a good thing. We got a good model in the SWAC right now. All we got to make sure is Dr. McClellan keep that train rolling. That's it.
I mean, I think that we have to look at the totality of everything. We can't just say Jackson State has had 3 good seasons of recruiting. We're back to being on the top, and then it's like, okay, let's jump FBS. Like, slow your roll here. Let's take on a mantra of a North Dakota State where we should be scheduling 6 or 7 home games and building our dominance that way instead of trying to jump to the FBS. And like Blue said, who are you trying to dominate?
Nobody.
You can still dominate. You can still dominate those same teams that you're looking. So if I'm looking at, okay, who do we want to play in the next 2 to 3 years and know for a fact that Jackson State would have a good chance of beating them, and this
We
is
got
without
ULM next year.
this is without moving to the FBS. You have ULM. You schedule a Southern Miss. You can schedule them and play them. There's at least 20 different group of 5 or even just lower level FBS teams that you can schedule as an FCS team and be very competitive. And if you guys are thinking that it's not about a backwards way of thinking, it's just being realistic here. And that is that the powers that be are not going to offer us a media rights deal that's comparable to the ACC or any other team. These teams are wallowing in debt. So even if they do have $50 million in media rights, they still are either they're barely above red or they're still in the red, even with all the media rights.
Yeah. It's not about, I'm going to tell everybody about this. It's not about competing and thinking that we can win. It's about the long run. It's about
right, and
the money.
We can beat those teams as non-conference schedules. Keep where we make our money, so we clear $1 million plus on our home games from our rivalries that come to our home games. So why would we change what's been working for decades? Why would we say let's move to a different conference and now we're having to play all these teams that nobody cares about when you have a Southern and an Alcorn game where you're going to have sold out stadiums? All of these different programs that people are saying in the chat, they have twice as much enrollment at their schools as Jackson State, and they can't even get a third of the amount of fans that we have in the stands.
I'm saying, this is all I'm saying.
And those black millionaires and boosters, they can give us money while we're at the FCS level. We don't have to move to the FCS level for somebody to give us money. Give us money now.
And guess what? Here's the kicker, y'all. Here's the kicker. Even though, let's just say we did move up, y'all. Let's just say we did move up. I'm put Jackson State. Let's just say Jackson State did move up. and we get whatever type of TV deal we get, that's still not enough because why? We are so underfunded by our state. Let's just let's keep it a buck, y'all. We like I say, let's keep it a buck. We are
Any
still underfunded by our states where we reside in.
and that's the thing. If like Mr. Walker says, JSU, Southern, Grambling, and FAMU, the reason why they're being even mentioned in the Sun Belt or any of these other conferences is because they see the attendance that you guys have at your games. They see the rivalries. They see the amount of viewership on some of your games. And in their mind, they're trying to figure out how can we replicate it or how can we use it to our advantage.
Okay, I'm gonna point this out. What's this sound that don't sound crazy? I'm saying like this: TV money ain't gonna give us enough right now. We are severely underfunded. Jackson State is severely underfunded by the state of Mississippi. Tennessee State is severely underfunded by the state of Tennessee.
So
Fed,
go to these conferences and you're still at a disadvantage.
you're still at a disadvantage.
And now the housing issue is nationwide. So that's not just HBCUs.
Yeah, it's
That's
not. Yeah, I
definitely
can tell you that.
nationwide. That's at PWIs as well. But what I'm saying is the majority of the funding that comes from that comes to HBCUs is not through athletics. It's
Bro,
not.
you said we are severely underfunded. We not getting media money. It don't even matter if we got media money. We still severely underfunded, bro. That is chump change. That is pennies on the dollar. I'm telling you, that's pennies on the dollar. We
Right, I wouldn't want to go to the Sun Belt. That's the thing. The Sun Belt or the CAA any conference that is saying, "Oh, come to our conference," it's because they want to either benefit off of what you have, which is the attendance, but you have to realize that the attendance that you have and the success that Jackson State has, that um, are it's due to rivalry games between HBCUs. It's not something that can be replicated by playing. You're not going to have it because the other team's not going to show up.
right. So I'm gonna say it like this. Mayon, you said JSU is not underfunded at all. We have enough money to pull together to finance JSU, and these celebrities will fund JSU and the FBS. The hell they won't. They won't. They won't. They are if they are going to fund Jackson State, they are looking at this as an investment. They
And if
want a
they would have been
return
done it,
on their investment. If they wanted to, they would have done this. What I'm saying is, you let's everybody. And I'm not going wild enough right here. I'm not doing my Jerry Maguire thing. Let's just take a whole break from what we talking about. We are probably in the state of Mississippi. Jackson State is probably what, about $2 billion underfunded by the state of Mississippi in that kind of like in that price range right there. It don't matter if people give us money. When people give us money, what's gonna happen? You got to use the money. It's gonna dry up. What are they gonna? The state got to give us our money. So that means if we got to go back and sue the state again to get our money that has been held back from us for so long, then I would rather do that. But I promise you, it's about it's the long money. The long money is with the TV deal. It ain't about going no
I
FBS and
wish
stuff.
people would stop talking about these meteorites because if the group of five can't get a decent meteorites deal, if the CAA can't get a decent meteorites deal, what in God's green earth makes you think that all of a sudden HBCUs who haven't been getting a fair shake for decades, all of a sudden they're going to get the correct meteorites deal?
I'm saying this. It ain't. You can give me it could be a you could be $1 billion. Give me a $500 million media rights deal. You still got to split that up between the 12 conference schools. Guess what? You still got to give the conference a cut of what you getting right there from the media from that deal. So I mean, it'll help. It will help keep your athletic program afloat. But but why would I want to go FBS when you ain't playing them but a piss in the pot?
Hey, you guys. Hey, panel, how y'all doing?
What's going on, Uncle Sid?
Not much.
Hey, Mr.
When I
Walker.
hey, Mr. Ford, how you doing, Doc?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Man,
Good.
it's all right. Just letting you know. When I dropped that comment, um, in the chat a few minutes ago, that's actually being discussed. And I'm gonna preface this by using the word "they," and y'all know where I'm going with that. It has been in circles. Being discussed that you know within the next year or two that it could be proposed from the Sun Belt because what they're looking at is they're gonna try to bring the four blue blood schools in from the SWAC plus Tennessee State plus North Carolina A&T. And
Man.
what they're doing is, hold on, hear me out.
Okay.
What they're doing is they're looking at attendance. They're looking at these classics. They're looking at they're looking at the fanfare. They're looking at potential growth uh, for the actual cities that they're in. Because I mean, you think about it, Tennessee State is in Nashville. You
Mm-hmm.
got North Carolina A&T. You know, they have their own entity. Then you have the Blue Bloods. You know, the Grambling, the Southerns, the FAMU, as well as the Jackson State, and they're looking at the central location. So, you know, don't be surprised within the coming years if they don't make an offer to build a super conference, which we
So the
should have been.
problem that I have with that, Mr. Walker, is HBCUs thinking that $450,000 in the clear for a bowl game is good money. So if you guys are continually making bad business deals now, or you're not able to go to the negotiation table and say this is what we feel we deserve, and knowing that these folks can get the money, but you're just going to take what they first offer you, I just don't see whatever they're laying out on the table as being a good enough for them to jump and abandon the SWAC, which would then virtually, if you do that type of jump, then you are basically bankrupting the SWAC. The SWAC is a strong conference, and I would venture to say that the SWAC is stronger than even some of the other PWI conferences, which tend to make a lot of shifts in the number of members in their
That's
conference.
true. That's true. That's
So
why.
to me,
That's why
I
I
just feel
preference.
like
That's why I preference they. You see what I'm
right.
saying?
So
Because
whatever
they.
they are trying to offer, the people that are in the SWAC need to figure out what that is, and then you need to be trying to figure out how you can offer it to those blue blood uh, teams to stay. Because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to be bankrupting the SWAC. then these big blue blood conferences, if it doesn't shake out right, well, oh, the what is it? They always talk about the travel and the amount of money that it costs to travel. If
Yep.
that becomes an issue down the line and people have to move, or you essentially are breaking down the slack for a woulda, coulda, shoulda, might, instead of trying to figure out ways to make the SWAC conference better or ways to adjust it so that whatever it is that you're looking for that you feel like you're missing, you're able to get that. Because I'm really trying to understand, outside of Power 5 FBS teams, how many FBS group of fives or just regular FBS teams are really drafting that many NFL players? Like, you folks are comparing yourselves to Alabama instead of comparing yourselves to a ULM, which is what Jackson State would be doing. I
Yeah,
I I love the forward thinking, but we have to be
yeah,
realistic here. You guys are comparing the Alabamas, the
Georgia's, the
Georgias.
yeah.
Ohio
You guys are
States.
But see,
comparing what they're getting,
but
what
see, we
have, and what they're doing. You're comparing it and saying Jackson State can do that, instead of realistically saying Jackson State, if they did move up to the FBS, what type of level would they be on? And why would you want to go to a Cracker Jack Bowl when you can uplift and expand the Celebration Bowl, which
Yep.
is already by far one of the biggest postseason bowls in the FCS or FBS? Like, why would you not invest in what you have and stop looking for white validation from these people who are never going to give it to you anyway?
right. I mean, and I totally agree with that. But like I said, the reason why, like I said, and these are from some people that I know that are chief decision makers. Basically, what they're trying to do is, let me tell you what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring those six teams in because when actually a brand new realignment of a conference comes in play, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what contract they're currently in, they'll be able to use those six schools, those six blue blood schools, as leverage to obtain a brand new contract for more money. And that's how the six schools that's coming in, that's how they will get more money, because when it comes with a new realignment, then they can easily go sell this to ESPN, to a Fox, to a whomever, whoever gets the
Sell it,
highest bid.
man. Sell it
Yeah.
to HBCU. Go, man. I'm gonna move on from this, man, because well, we could talk about this all day.
So I just wanted to respond to that. So are you stating that as we are now, that we couldn't do that on our own now?
No, 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 no. 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 That I never. No, I didn't. I'm pro for HBCUs expanding. I want HBCUs to. Matter of fact, if it was up to me, if I was a chief decision maker, what I would want to do is, since the MEAC only has oh so many teams, I would love to do just a super conference if it was up to me. And that will still go back into realignment. And then just imagine if you do a super conference with the MEAC and those six teams, you can actually have an all HBCU schedule and the competition will be there each and every week.
You know what this reminds me, y'all? And it's crazy. It reminds me of when here in Texas we have our biennial realignment for high schools here, and everybody's sitting on pins and needles trying to figure out which school going, what school going to what district, where they going, what school is placed in what division, what region. Like that's what I look at it. But man, we gonna move on to this. Mr. Ford, you still there?
Uh, yeah.
Man, I got a question for you.
Okay.
We talked about this the other day on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the best quarterback from Jackson State history? Um, so I talked about this uh Wednesday, and I want to get your opinion. I want to get your perspective. So this is from the Clary Ledger, y'all. Y'all remember I
Mm-hmm.
said this. Number one, they for all time Jackson State quarterback. Number one, they put Sean Gregory on there,
Mm-hmm.
and then number two was Roy Curry. Number three was Shannon Boyd. Number four,
Right.
Graylin Pratt. Five, Casey Terrio. Six, Robert Kent. Seven, Shador Sanders. Eight, Sylvester Collins. Nine, Jimmy Lewis. And 10, Keith Taylor. And then honorable mention was Jimmy Oliver, Cornelius Addison, Ernie Hutt Williams, John McKenzie. What do you think about that list?
Okay, now I saw McKenzie, I saw Oliver, I saw Kent, I saw Shannon Boyd, I saw Sean. Which what's Sean's name?
Sean Gregory.
I saw Sean Gregory. Now Sylvester Collins, that was before my time. I think he was early 70s.
Okay.
Um, I saw Terrio. Who was them last few guys you called? I saw Terrio. Uh,
Terrio, Jimmy
I
Lewis,
saw John McKenzie. Yeah, who else you saying?
Sylvester Collins,
That's
Jimmy
before my
Lewis,
time. For yeah, I
and
knew
Keith
about him, but I
Taylor.
didn't see.
Keith
Keith
Taylor.
Taylor really didn't. They were running the wishbone. He really didn't throw the ball.
Right.
He was from Georgia. He was from Waycross, Georgia. Uh, ooh. As a winner, just a pure winner, I would take that Taylor kid. But now, let me see. As a complete, ooh, uh, McKenzie was tough. Brinkley was tough. Terrio was tough. I don't know why they left Clayton. What's that boy's name? Clayton. What's Clayton name that came from Ole Miss? Why they left him off that list?
Mm.
Remember him? Clayton. Was it Clayton Moore?
What year was that?
He was on the team that lost to Pine Bluff in the SWAC championship. Was it?
And
Was
was it '06 or something like that? Around that
a
time?
little bit,
Or
maybe a little bit later. He came to
okay.
y'all from Ole Miss.
Um.
He talking
Was
about
it
Clay
Clayton
Moore. He
Moore?
talking about Clay Moore from Brandon.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know why they left him off there. He was good.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion, the best QB Jackson ever had was Robert Kent.
Yeah, Kent was tough.
Stat wise, yes, I would say stat wise, but he didn't win.
Well,
But
Kent's
remember,
problem was that man left. Remember, Coach Shannon left and went to Troy State.
yeah,
Because he was going to get Kent ready to go to the NFL. Because Kent was hired by, Shannon was hired by Big Daddy.
yeah. Um, uh, Mr. Campbell told me, he said Wednesday Shannon Boyd was the best QB that he ever saw from Jackson State.
He was tough. He played on some legendary teams.
He did, but you can argue that with saying Sean Gregory too.
Yeah,
Right.
Gregory was tough too.
Wasn't
Because
both of them was close to, they was undefeated. Both of them was undefeated. Or
yeah,
was Sean Gregory?
both of them. Yeah, you had Sean Gregory. You had Sean Gregory went undefeated. You had Ricky Jordan from East Florida. He went
Yeah, I
undefeated.
remember Ricky
Remember,
Joe.
because
Yeah, Ricky
because
threw to
that was
Jimmy
that
Smith.
time. Yeah, that was that time that Jackson State they went undefeated 8 years. So you had Ricky Jordan, you had
Yeah, I
Sean
remember.
Gregory in that. So yeah, you can say that, as far as the wins, but I just think that from based on what he had, and at that time, Dark Side really wasn't. I mean, Dark Side defense was good, but they was steady, at that time. But I just think that Robert Kent, based on what he had, he made a huge difference for Jackson State. I mean, it was, and then you got to think he was also a huge pickup because he was, you know, back then he was the equivalent to what a 4-star QB was, modern day. Because you think about it, that boy was first, he was like, I think what back then, I think he was like third team All State QB coming out of Indianola Gentry, and he was like the first team All State as a punter.
Oh, you talking about Robert Kent? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I remember when he was at Gentry. Yeah, when he was at
Mhm.
Gentry. Uh, but it's a name, like I said, it's a name that ain't on this list that sustained the program in between Robert Kent, between Graylin Pratt and Robert Kent, and that is Mark Washington.
The San Antonio kid, right?
Right.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I
he,
remember him.
he sustained the program when Graylin Pratt left. He came in. He was a starter for 2-3 straight years, and then you had the infusion of TC as a quarterback, and then you jump in with Superman. My man ain't got no love on this list, but he ain't never had a losing season though either. Now he lost a swag game because he lost to Southern, and that
Right.
was he lost to
And
Southern.
that's what I was gonna say, because everybody that I've been naming, they didn't lose to Southern. I mean, Ricky Jordan didn't lose to Southern. Robert
That's
Kent
another
didn't.
name, and that's another name that I was thinking about that should have been on this list too. Ricky Jordan.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. From East Florida. Yeah, yeah. He came from East Florida. I mean, that dude was that dude that was bad. I mean, Ricky Jordan was bad. He was a bad man. Um, I mean, you got to throw Terrio into
Well,
that conversation.
I give White Tiger his props because he did
Oh
what
yeah,
he
he
did.
was tough. Yeah.
It was
He did
tough.
what he
It
did
was tough.
when he under Comedy.
Yeah, and it might be by unpopular opinion, but um, you got to throw Shador in that conversation.
Well, Shador in there.
Okay, yeah, you got to
Yeah,
throw him in there.
yeah,
You got to
Shador is
throw
in
him in
there.
there because he believed in winning. I don't know how things will turn out, but from currently, I don't know. But
I do. They gonna lose.
yeah,
I do.
they got a. You're right, Mr. Ford. They got a tough man. They got a tough
Please.
schedule coming up. They got a tough one.
Should do probably play one more year. He going pro, man. Cause that's
And,
that's
and,
a
and
complete
the thing
rebuild up there
about
in
it is,
Colorado, bro.
the thing about it is, bro, Mr. Ford. If I was Sador and Travis, this is what I would do. If I ball out this year, Shador go ahead and
Yeah,
go ahead and go.
yeah,
And then with Travis, I'll be honest with I Travis with his talent, and because you gotta have the 3 years and all that. What I would do if I was Travis and I ball out this year, I'd get me one of them big old Rocket Ishmael contracts that they did back in the day. Go to the CFL, get a bunch of millions, then go for the draft the following year. That's what I would do. I
yeah,
wouldn't stay. I would not keep my talent like that. Keep my talent like that right there, because it's so many factors you have to deal with, man. Man, last time I was there, man, I hadn't been there in about 3 years. But man, that altitude, man. Good God, good God, man, that altitude is nothing to play with. It is nothing if you're not used to it. Man, it's like you how you blowing in a old school paper bag all
Yeah,
day. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. That altitude is no joke. And then the thing about it is you gotta those young men, you got to factor in records, like because sometimes, that can, especially when you're playing skill positions, a lot of that stuff can be factored in, to your draft status as well. A lot of that. That's sometimes now. Now sometimes you just so good that you just stick out from a 1 and 12 team, but in order, if I were them, that's what I would just sit down and begin having conversations. I would, I would, get down, with some of these draft analytics and just start having appropriate conversations. Like, what is this about? What do we need to do? Because as far as talent wise, I mean, he's up there with now Caleb Williams is by far the best. He and that guy from North Carolina, Drake
Drake
May.
May, yeah.
Yeah, he
You
by
still
by
got
far.
you still got Bo Nix
Yeah,
at Oregon.
Man,
Bo Nix
Bo
is
Nick
good.
shouldn't be mentioned in the same breath with them guys, man.
No,
Oh,
there's
way.
only one more. There's only one more, possibly two, that should be in the same breath with them, and the other
Yeah.
one would be Michael Penix from Washington, the transfer from Indiana.
Oh yeah,
Him,
Okay.
yeah.
him, and if we just really just want to be real, I mean, I like his game, but a lot of people say they don't. I like his game because it fits towards some of the nuances of the new age of the way the NFL is going. But I like that kid, Jordan Travis from FSU. I
Oh,
like
yeah,
Oh
him.
he
yeah.
can play. Yeah, that part
Yeah,
he
I
play.
like.
And he's
Yeah,
a
I like.
leader. He's a
Hmm.
leader.
Yeah, yeah. I like him.
That
But
boy,
there's a
Bo Nix, he wasn't better than TJ Finley.
Look
right.
where TJ Finley at.
He just he's on a but Oregon is a loaded squad though. It's a loaded squad.
Well, they're playing
But
out there in that mediocre Pac-12. Don't forget that.
that's true. That's true. But if if I was Shador, I'm just being totally honest as far as talent wise, and the way he approaches the game, he could be in that top five by the end of this season. He
Yeah.
could be. He
I'm like
could
you,
be.
play one more and get out of there.
Yeah, get the hell on, man.
Get
So
out of
excuse
there.
my friend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. No, sir. You don't risk. You don't take those type of risks when it comes to especially
You saying top
playing in
five?
NFL.
You saying top five, and they might only win 3 games this year?
Who you
Well,
talking
see,
about? Talking about Colorado? We talking about just Shador by himself. He could be top five
no, we
as
talking about should
as
do it
a
by itself.
team.
No, not top five
Yeah.
team. No. I'm talking about top
No,
five by
no,
position.
right. And I'm saying, you thinking that Shador is going to be able to go top five if they only win 3 games?
That's on the team and that's on coaching. Cause they
No.
already. But here's the thing: he already on the Heisman preseason Heisman list. He's
Sir,
already on
he
the.
was on the Heisman preseason list as part of the deal for Dion leaving Jackson State. That was, let's
Nah,
push you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just like just like game day coming and all the stuff that they did right before he left, that was all a part of the deal, all a part of
Yeah, I mean, I can agree
all
to
a
to
part of
understand of that,
the
but I just look at
documentary.
his talent, though. I'm just looking at his pure
his talent.
talent. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
his
Because to
talent.
me, when I'll be honest with you, to me, Timona, what I do is when I do my draft analytics, I look at just the player per position. Most time, I don't look at the team, but there are some execs now that when they draft people, they do look at what you're saying, part of the team. But me, I'm trying to
I mean,
find
if he
that
doesn't have an O line to block for him, he's not going to be able to pass the ball.
true, true, true.
He has to produce. This is just the facts. They're all saying oh, Shador was just swag great. Shador has to produce at the FBS level to be in that top 5. Now, will he get drafted? Absolutely. I believe that he will
I
get
think he'll produce. I think he'll.
has
I believe
to
he'll produce at the at the FBS. Now,
I mean,
I'm not
if you really
saying that
think of it,
everybody on his team will, but I think he will.
if you really think
I
about
really
it,
believe it.
if you think about this, like on the real, it sounds like when
That's
about
what
2 years,
Blue
but
said it too.
it
That's what
sounds
I
like
was
when
saying.
Cameron Ward transferred from Incarnate Word to up to Washington State, and he had to prove himself, and he's a damn good quarterback.
Yeah,
So he's a damn
and
good
that's matter of
quarterback.
fact, I think that's one of Shadur's friends, and Cameron Ward knows what Shadur can do.
And guess what? He got to play Cameron Ward too. Washington State, he got to play them. He lucky. That's
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying. That schedule they got. He lucky that they ain't had to play Washington in Seattle. They lucky they didn't have to play them in Seattle. Like for real. It's some other teams that's out there that was left off from the conference that they supposed to be playing, but that I'm just looking at it from the schedule standpoint. TCU got something to prove because they felt like they was embarrassed.
That's right. They got mollywopped.
They got
They didn't
mollywopped
belong there.
in the
Man,
national
that's what they
championship
proved.
game.
They didn't belong in that national championship game.
So they had something to prove, right? That I'm just putting it just out here, y'all. That Nebraska game is pretty much like, okay, we might get you, but it's an old rivalry right there. It's an old Big 8 rivalry. So that's something that they got right there. Then what's their third game? Colorado State. That's a rivalry game right there. So, just look at it. The 2 out of those 3 games are rivalries. And then you go and then you get into the meat and potatoes of your schedule. Because here's a good thing. They got USC early on. I would rather play them early on than to play them late. Because playing them late, and if they on a roll, you're going to catch hell. You're going to, literally, you're going to catch hell with them dudes. Playing Oregon, and if they playing them if you playing Oregon at Austin Stadium, you can call that a wrap. That is the loudest. It only hold about 60,000 people, but that is the loudest stadium that you would ever go to. They don't pump no noise up in there. The state is loud for that reason only. So, um,
yeah, but they have a tall task. I mean, because
they got it.
they can actually probably walk away with about 8 or 9 losses this year. It's a strong possibility.
They're picked to finish second to last in the conference.
And that's
Now,
what I
guess
was
what?
saying without hating. I said I want Shador to do well, but at the same
Right.
time, I don't like that his dad chose to pull him at the height of his career for a team that's 1-11 and just have that ego and the overall audacity to feel like I did it in the SWAC where he did a roster overhaul and he thinking that he can do that at the FBS level where everybody has money, everybody has facilities, everybody has NIL deals. And now you're thinking just because you're Dion that you're going to be able to replicate. It's different. The
Yeah,
SWAC
I
is
just
not
hope that he has,
Pac-12.
that type of effect like a Cameron Ward, because as we know, even some of the better players that was one of the top quarterbacks that was in the FCS last year, he's holding a clipboard now. And I
Lindsey
don't want
Scott.
that to happen.
Lindsey
I
Scott.
don't want that to happen. Yeah, he's holding a clipboard now. And when he went,
Then this guy should have went to the CFL or the XFL. Then what happened?
well, number one, he was
Well,
old.
he's like 25, 26, ain't he?
Yeah, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, I don't want, I wouldn't want that to happen to Shador. That's why I said that, because like I said, some of the top quarterbacks that were in the FCS last year, I mean, a lot of that stuff was open stats. When they started going to these combines and stuff, they saw what the real was.
And you also have to look at what are the draft needs. They done draft quite a few quarterbacks this year. And so what is the next 2 years going to be looking like as far as teams? What teams are going to need a quarterback, and then are you going to be able to fit into that type of into that type of team? Like, the Patriots have a certain type of quarterback that they want. The I guess like the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you also have to look at what are the needs of the NFL that year. That will also determine on whether or not I'm not even going to speak about just Shador, but we're just speaking about positions in
In
general.
general.
Yeah, like whatever's needed at that time, that's what's going to go higher in the draft.
Well, I'm gonna put it just like this: college football is about to be upon us, y'all. And
Yes, yes, Lord.
I
Finally.
am so ready for it, y'all. I am
Man,
so
I ain't
ready
been on
for it.
Twitter since this morning, but I put a tweet out there, note to self, man. Football is 2 weeks away.
So
I can't wait.
I know this on the 25th, on that Friday. I'm not doing the show because I'm going to be at SMU. So I'm going to watch Duncanville play South Oak Cliff at SMU Friday night. That's going to be on ESPN. But I want us to go see the game up close and personal. Saturday, do the show. Saturday, watch the BX Squad Challenge. Do the show that night. And, you know what I'm saying, go on from there. September, that first week of September, Labor Day weekend, try to go to be in Houston. Hey, Rusty, I know SMU got a squad, but I ain't going to see SMU. I'm going to see a high school game. It is going to be on ESPN. I'm going to see a high school game. I actually want to go see from Duncanville, Colin Simmons. He's the number one. I think he's the number one rated edge rusher in the nation. He chose to go to University of Texas, so I want to see him. And then there's some other kids that play for South Oak Cliff that had D1 potential, and I'm going to see what they all about now. So I'll be at the game. So this year, like I said, this season, I'm trying to go cover high school games too. So, like I said, I'm only about 15 minutes away from Louisville. I go check out Ethan Terrell, our 2024 commit. I'm gonna go check him out, see what he all about, see how he is. But we gonna see. We gonna do a lot of things for this channel. Make sure. Let's see, because I know I said this earlier. As y'all see, yes, I have the picture with me and the missus. Yes, so join us as we tackle child speech impediment. All proceeds will help sponsor a child that is in need. So if you want to donate, make sure that you hit the Cash App, HBCU OverDrive. So we still at $400. We still like $420. Let's jump. Let's get it kick started because I want to try to get this. We want to try to get this initiative done by next week, and then we want to try to move to a new initiative. And while we doing this paid initiative, a non-paid initiative is For the channel, we have 100. We are 145 subscribers away from 2,000. Let's get those subscribers up. So if you know somebody out there, just share this show with them and tell them, hey, just subscribe, because if they ain't getting they HBCU coverage from anybody else, they could get it from us. So, um, other than that, um,
Great show, you guys. Great show, man. Great show. I was listening in the entire time. Great show, man. Like I said, I wasn't, trying to be, on the contrary, anything like that. But I was just bringing up what I had been hearing in some circles and stuff like that.
yeah.
About certain things as far as realignment and things of that nature. So, like I said, man, good job. Keep up the good work. Just always, bring us what we need to hear, man, and that's HBCU media. So thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Hey, bro. Yeah, I'll be at the game this year again. I'll be at the Grambling Prairie View game. So, hey, what's up, Braxton?
There he is, Noopy.
What's up?
What's up? Oh, I'm glad that this week has came. My child has started the third grade.
Oh
I'm
man,
glad. And and she is my twin, y'all. If y'all ain't never seen a picture of her, she is exactly who she is. She is me all up and down.
that's all right. That's all right. Keep it going, man. They grow up fast, man. They grow up fast.
Shout out to all the kids that moved in today. Shout out to y'all. Welcome to Jackson State. You about to be on a journey.
They about to be on the yard.
Yes.
That's
Check
right.
out the
That's right, B.
check
That's
out
right.
the if you in Jackson, check out the merge August the 19th. That is next Saturday. So of course, like I said, I'm not doing the show next Saturday. Plus, it's the Mrs. birthday next weekend, so she'll be 39.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Happy birthday.
So she'll be turning 39. She'll be on assignment next week, and then she'll be back Saturday, and then we'll do some on Sunday. Because her birthday is on the 21st. So we got some things going on. My niece moves in. She moves down to Prairie View tomorrow.
Good.
Shout out to my niece.
Good.
My nephew. My nephew moved into his dorm at Clark, Atlanta. So
Wow.
shout out to my nephew and my stepson. He didn't get a chance to get his room assignment, but guess what? He's still going to school. When classes start on the 21st of August, he'll do his online, Jackson State.
Look at that.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So I of course everybody knows I was with my great grandma this past week. She turned 97 yesterday.
That's our grandma.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then of course my birthday will be on Monday.
Happy birthday.
Yep, Leo's hit different. August 14th is my day. We got a lot of Leos in Tiger.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my aunt. Her birthday is on the 14th too. She's a proud Prairie View alum. She's an educator, so she'll be. I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what. I don't even ask her her age.
39 and holding. Just say she's 39 and holding.
I don't even ask her age. So she looked like she's still like in her 30s. So that just lets you know how black don't crack. um. So yeah. It's gonna be it's a good season. I guess the Leo's season is upon us. um.
Yeah, Leo's in the house, man. Leo's are in the house, man, and congrats to you, man. I salute to you, nephew, man, to have all these wonderful young offspring coming to the HBCU space and actually going to school and about to graduate. Because at the end of the day, that's what counts before anything. Because even when I'm speaking in forums, I always tell kids that I'm an athlete. No, you're a student athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You're a student first. So congratulations to you and their parents and yourself, and to just basically keep that train going. And because as you can see, as we all can see now, you have to be educated in some type of storefront right now.
Right. Oh, and I got approved to be join the National Alumni Association here in Dallas. So all I gotta do is just pay my money, and I'm
Keep
I'm
it
gonna be
going.
good.
Keep it going. Keep it going. With no struggle, there's no process. There's no progress. So keep it going. And the thing about it is, shouts out to you and Timona. We believe in you guys, and we depend on you guys. I can't say that. I can't say that enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep doing what you're doing, man. And when football season, those numbers gonna go up. So just keep providing that great content, be factual, be on point, and just be there, man. And just do what you've been doing, and much success to y'all, because
Oh
y'all
yeah.
got the it factor. So just keep your light shining, and you know what I mean by that.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
my bad. I'm sorry. Both of y'all know what I mean by that. My bad. My bad, Timon. Yeah, both of y'all know what I mean by that. So, just keep it going, man, and just keep providing that content that we all need. Because in these chats when we're going, when people are commenting back and forth, that's great. That makes for great banter, and it
Mm-hmm.
also makes for great ideas to push this train forward. Because at the end of the day, the HBCU space, one thing, if it doesn't give us anything, I always remember this: it gives us a foundation. And you
Yeah.
can tell when you go to HBCUs, and I'm pretty sure the chat can agree on this. You go to a damn HBCU, you ain't got no other choice but to be educated. They're gonna get on your ass. Them professors get on your butt, in
Mm-hmm.
HBCU spaces.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, like I said, just keep the train going, and shoot, man. Let's take this as far as God will allow us to.
Oh yeah. And like I said, I got the little banner for the happy birthday for everybody that's born in August. I ain't,
Thank you.
for everybody that's born in August, happy birthday. Um, so we'll get everybody that's born in September next year, next month, and then when October comes, that is a national holiday. Yeah, October come, that is a national holiday. That's when my birthday come around. I gotta find me a Hank Aaron jersey because I'll be 44 this year, and I don't even look it. And it's funny. My mom, like, it's funny. If you see me, y'all see a picture of my mom. That's my my mom is my twin. And then you see a picture of me, you see a picture of my daughter, and she definitely my twin. Like, I can't deny that. I can't even go to paternity court to judge Lauren Lake paternity court to deny none of that. Nope, I can't do it. But oh, another one more thing, man. Send out some prayers to some players from Albany State. Um, they on the 9th, which was Wednesday. 6 players from Albany State University football team experienced fatigue-related symptoms during practice. The student athletes were immediately transported to Phoebe Putney Memorial Hospital for treatment and are currently recovering. It's just like what we said. That heat ain't no joke, y'all. So if you got to go outside, man, look, stay hot. What we say? Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, my friends. Make sure you get Gatorade, water, watermelon, pickle juice, Pedialyte, whatever. Make sure you stay hydrated, especially if you are an athlete. Make sure you, in fact, hydrate yourself the night before you got to go out there in that sun the next day. Do it just like that, and you should have no problem.
I'm hoping that the all the schools take heed and take extra precautionary measures and not try to push these young gentlemen too far. You know, making sure that they keep them hydrated and not just water. They need the electrolytes because drinking a lot of water can be dangerous if you aren't putting the electrolytes.
Yeah, you're drowning out your system. You're drowning your system out. But y'all, let's continue. Let's get some donations going right here for child speech impediment. All proceeds you send out donations to the Cash App HBCU OverDrive. This is something that's, like I said, that's near and dear to me. So let's get that going. Let's kind of get that going and continue on throughout next week.
Good night, guys.
So I just want to put this on here for you so everybody can see. That's where you send the donations to. And I promise you, whatever I do, when it's time to get it done, y'all will see me. Y'all will see it get done. But other than that, y'all, look, we had a good night tonight for our first night back on Saturday night. I won't be on there this coming Saturday, next Saturday. So make sure that y'all check out the replays and check out the replays on the show from previous shows, and I bet you won't be disappointed. Yeah, Braxton's gonna have his own podcast when he turned about 10, 11 years old. Uh-oh. PV in the building said PV by 20. Why don't you just say by 40?
He must be talking about against Texas Southern because he couldn't be talking about Jackson State.
Yeah, they ain't even play us this year. They play us next year. No slack in the swag. Appreciate you for the donation, bro.
I'm realistic too, Mr. Mosby. Jackson State by 50.
Oh Lord, he said the hell with Pine Valley. Oh man. Uh Not P Valley. Oh man. It was somebody did something. Somebody showed me a picture of a high school that was built up in Prosper, which is probably about 30 minutes north of Dallas, of where I'm from. And it's called Walnut Grove. So it's Walnut Grove area of Prosper. And I couldn't put the pictures up here, but if you look at those pictures, that school looks like a damn, like, the school looked like they got money. They put it just like that. Everything from the school to the athletic facility to basketball, just everything up in there look like they got money. But yeah, it's crazy. We on some different things here in Texas. I don't know what's up. Yeah, Prosper where Dion used to live, where he got damn near almost got caught up with dealing with Pilar. I missed the FAMU scrimmage.
It wasn't nothing to brag home about. It wasn't nothing to brag home about.
So are we close? Are we close enough to where we could get our trash talking in now?
The scrimmage, the FAMU scrimmage, you know, the EA in the comments said that it was scary, and I said I would imagine that that many fumbles in their first scrimmage game, that would definitely be scary for me.
Mm. What did Musa look like?
He had sticky fingers. EA is
Oh,
not commenting and saying anything. I don't know how.
all right, man. Hey, if anybody want to contact me, and yes, I do answer text. So I want people to understand I answer text. Just don't call me all during the daytime because I'll be at work. You can contact me at this number 469-705-8945. Again, 469-705-8945. And let's go ahead and end this show on a good, positive note. Again, shout out to all the players who balled out this past weekend in their NFL preseason debut. There's some more dudes that's going to ball out tomorrow. I think Mark Evans and Shaq Davis for the Saints. They play tomorrow. And I think it's another team that play tomorrow. I got to look at it again. And then we'll go on to the next week. But congratulations to all those players, to the new rookies that played in the games this weekend, that shine this weekend, that feel like they need to get better. Like, work on your craft. Work on your craft, you will get better, and God will bless you tenfold. Shout out to the GOAT here in Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki, getting that Hall of Fame. So he in there. 21 seasons, over 30,000 points, Finals MVP, regular season MVP, NBA champion, multiple time All-Star. Hey, he deserved everything and more. And he's still invited to the barbecue. to the cookout because his wife is black. Um. Also, let's see. Dwayne Wade went into the Hall of Fame today. Dwayne Wade, Tony Parker, Paul Gasol, Greg Popovich. Well, we like to call him in Texas Papa Bit. Yeah, so it was a good night tonight for sports. So yeah, man, we everybody we on top. I don't see nothing else. I don't see nobody else knocking us off. We on top. And oh, y'all pray for the people from Montgomery, man. I know it's not a laughing matter, but every time I see that dude hit that man with that chair, all I hear is the glass break and Stone Cold music. Come on, all you need is a black leather vest jacket with DTA on the side and Stone Cold 316 on the back, and walking bow-legged with those with those knee braces on. That's what I think of. But hey, it is what it is, y'all. But what you got coming up this week, Timona?
Oh, I'm going to be doing a DB breakdown. Yeah, the defensive backs got to get their breakdown, and then I'm getting ready for MEAC SWAT challenge.
That's in 2 weeks.
You have to get prepared for it. You have to break this stuff down.
Oh yeah, I thought you talking about actually going, but I know you said you're
That
going,
too.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta get prepared for that too. Can't
I'm
be
getting
doing
prepared for the
you can't
show,
do
but
them
I
one
can't
week
get. I
around.
can't. I'm not going.
EA said they already got injuries on the O line. Lord. EA, you supposed to keep that information in house. Some things should not be shared online. Let me screenshot that.
Oh Lord, boy. Oh Lord.
We don't need no self-inflicted excuses, Mr. EA. But anyway, yeah. So that's what I have. I'm gonna do a DB breakdown, and then I'm getting prepared for the SWAC MEAC challenge.
So yeah, I know. This week I do Monday and Wednesday. Um, pretty much, I'm pretty much gonna break down what to expect in these first couple of games. Um, 0 week, week 1, and then, like I said, get ready for uh, the wifey birthday next weekend, and then I gotta hit up Kobe so we what day we gonna come on here so we could talk football, South Carolina State, Jackson State football. But and the fireplace is gonna be be on the show. The fireplace, Kobe's fireplace is gonna be on the show, y'all. Just letting y'all know. Somebody talking about unplugging his fireplace. Don't be a hater all your life. But yeah, yeah, I'm watching SNU. Oh yeah, SNU do play Prairie View this year too, so I will check that game out. Also, I got to see what day that is. But if it's on them days where, if it's on a day where Alcorn and Stephen F. Austin play, I got to make a good old decision. Oh Lord, we'll break down that FAMU game too. I got to get a FAMU. Well, I would get Mr. Campbell.
FAMU what? You
I
gotta
would
get
get Fam, you a representative on the
Who
show.
you getting to come
I
on
might
your show? OG
probably get.
Strike Zone?
I'd probably get Mr. Bryan on there. If not, I'll get Mr.
Uh,
Campbell.
mm.
I get Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Campbell, he is not getting ready to give you no kind of inside scoop. I don't even think Mr. Campbell knows the names of these young men. I want him to name 5 folks on that team outside of Musa and Junior Meritovich. I want you to name. I'm trying to see if I can name 3. And besides Majors, Isaiah Majors, Musa, Meritovich, John Graves, the one that just transferred in. And oh, that's 4.
EA, cuz if I'm going to Miami, I gotta rob a bank just to get
and Marcus Riley, who was he, the wide receiver from Bethune-Cookman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They asked me if I'm coming to Miami. I said, I don't know if I'm coming to Miami. I gotta rob a bank just to get to Miami. I don't even think I'll come down there right now.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. So my alternative is Houston. Oh yeah, that Dallas man. See, the Pac-12 should have did that in a long time ago. They should have got SMU. They get the Dallas market, but they got an incompetent commissioner. So you see what happening right now. But anyway, look, we is out this thing. We will be back the week of MEAC SWAC Challenge. All right. But as always, man, look, y'all stay blessed. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay dangerous and stay hydrated. How about this thing? Peace.
Good night.